call this meeting to order. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hold 1 second on that roll call because I think our 7th member has arrived. Let's have a roll call of the members present, please. I'm here.
Present.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here. Here. Thank you very much. First reading.
Notice the taxpayers of proposed additional appropriations. Notice is hereby given to taxpayers of Porter County, Indiana, that the property legal offices of Porter County will be Porter County Government Administration Building located at 155 Indiana Avenue, El Dorado, on April 26, 2016, at 5 quarters price to consider the following additional appropriations in excess of the county budget for the year 2016, and to transact any further business which might come before the council. General Fund, Sheriff, 1130 overtime, 6,882. Animal Shelter, 3160. Veterinary Services, $1,868.57. Parks, 1110. Salaries, a reduction of $1,000. Nature Move, 3950. Contractual, $317,197. Expo Center, 3340. Advertising, $20,300. Hospital Interest, 1230. Sheriff Pension, $441,500. Memorial Opera House, 3340. Advertising, $19,000. Park, Kiki, 3950. Contractual Services, $1,195. Sunset Hill Farm Garden, 2250. Other supplies, $1,185.84. Park Grant, 3950. Contractual Services, $2,800. Taxpayers appearing at such meetings shall have the right to be heard thereon. The additional appropriation is on the notes of the report to the Indiana Department of Government and Finance. The DOGF will make a written determination as to the sufficiency of funds to support the appropriations made within 15 days in receipt of a certified copy of the action taken via Advantage Auditor of Porter County, published April 15, 2016.
Thank you, Madam Auditor. We're going to move out of order here a little bit. Parks and Recreation, please. Walter has a birthday party to go to, so... 2? Oh, my goodness. Oh, twins. Wow. No problem. So we've got a few things in front of us. Sunset Hill Farm Garden, 8144-0000-85, an additional $1,185.84 to other supplies. Garden supplies, equipment, materials for the 16 summer camp. We also have the Sunset Hill Playground, $2,800 to contractual design development plans for Phase 2 of playground construction. Waukee Park, 4918-0000-85, additional $1,195 to contractual drainage calc, construction costs and meeting expenses. And then we've got General Fund 1000-1085-85, reduction of $1,000 from salaries, elimination of park planner position. And then we've got the 144, $42,000 to 0 park planner, 0 to 31,000 program coordinator 2, eliminated park planner and added 1 program coordinator 2, saving $2,000. $9,000 was transferred to 3620 building and structures at the 322 meeting. What's your pleasure?
Move to approve. Second.
A motion and a second on all of these?
Yes.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Diggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
And Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you. Enjoy the party. Appreciate it. Commissioners, we're going to do our council attorney at the end. Commissioners, hospital interest. Cheryl, we have no commissioners, so let's just wing it. Hospital interest, sheriff's pension, $441,500 to sheriff's pension. To cover sheriff's pension expense, we've talked about this fairly ad nauseum with respect to how to do it. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Diggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
And Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
7-0, support.
Seated Sheriff, transfer $4,900 from building maintenance to uniforms and clothing to pay for the 7 body armor vests. We've talked about this as well. What's your pleasure?
Move.
You have a motion in a couple of seconds. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Major moves. This is one that we dealt with earlier, but when it came in front of the commissioners, they would have rather taken the money out of major moves for the airport matching. $317,197 to contractual to replace additional appropriation earlier approved by the Council of Hospital Interest for the county airport grant. As you know, the matching funds are astronomical for this
I'll make the
investment.
motion.
Second.
Motion to second on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Day.
Yes.
7-0, support.
Dan, do you know where the commissioners are? I mean, these are all pretty self-explanatory, and we dealt with it, but
I do not. I talked to Laura earlier today, and I think she was out of town.
And Mr. Good is out of state.
Well, that just leaves one. No, but they may have thought it was cool because we've talked about these so much, but yeah, it's a good question. And for the record, when I spoke with Council, Commissioner Blaney earlier today, we went through these, and I told her I thought it would be okay if she were able to come. Sheriff, General Fund, 1,000-1005-05, additional $6,882 to overtime. Special service overtime reimbursement from all kinds of initiatives.
Second.
Motion, a couple of motions in a second. Discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Day.
Yes.
And Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
7-0, support.
Yeah. Maintenance, building maintenance, general fund, 144. $35,169 to zero custodial services manager, $93,000 to 124 custodians from 3 to 4. Basically, you're eliminating a manager down into a custodian level, is that it?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion to second on the floor, any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Paparad.
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Day.
Yes.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
7.
Thank you,
Good,
council.
Matt. Have a good night. Animal shelter. General fund, 1,000-1045-45, $1,868.57. To vet services, McAfee Animal Hospital has outstanding invoices, not the crappy kind, from May and June 2014. What's your pleasure?
Move.
We have a motion,
I'll second to get the discussion.
and there's a second. Discussion.
We haven't had any money since May of last year, or what am I missing?
They're outstanding bills.
I understand the concept, I have it all the
I didn't know
time.
they were outstanding until January of this year. I had given them information, trying to resolve the outstanding invoices in October.
Who is they?
McAfee.
Okay.
She's been working on the bill, trying to get it
Trying to
resolved.
get it resolved, and they didn't give me these invoices until January 2016.
And she's just come into this position. She-
Right, I understand, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, they didn't bill us, or?
I think there was a dispute with the bill.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, Sylvia.
How much money do you have in the animal shelter fund? I mean, I'm wondering why we're taking it out of general.
Well, I don't necessarily want to take it out of my 2016 budget, because I need that for 2016.
Well, how much money is in there? Just
There
curious.
is $33,000 in there right now.
Is that what it is, Vicki?
Is that, Tony, is that for legal fees, that $33,000?
No, this is vet services.
Vet services.
Vet services.
What's been your yearly burn rate on that? What do you spend on that?
Normally, we go through that and the supplemental
Yep.
without a
I think
problem.
they go through all of it.
Yeah.
You do.
Evidently, you've resolved this
I have.
this issue with,
This will bring us to a zero balance with them, and then we can move on from there. And in fact, all the vets now have been paid in full, besides this one.
so you agree with this particular
Yes.
invoice?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are no other outstanding for 14 or 15?
Nope. I've done all the research on it. so.
Yeah, call the question.
Let's have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Reader?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitney?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Good?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
And Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Memorial Opera House. How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Been an interesting month, but it's good.
I can imagine so. We have an additional 19,000 advertising, additional contributions received from Dunes Tourism.
Correct. And thank you all for getting us that additional money. We're just looking to be able to spend it now.
That was our pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was a great show, that Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it really was.
Oh, the Wizard guy, blown away. Talent on that stage.
The man behind the man behind the curtain was amazing.
What's your pleasure with this request? We have a motion.
I'll second.
And a second. Discussion.
Spend it.
That's it. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Whitney?
Yes.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Good?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Reaver?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you.
Very good. Have a good evening.
Good luck.
Surveyor, 144, drainage construction to party chief, job title and new job description.
Party chief, that has got everybody's eyebrow up.
That is a...
Technically, surveying technician supervisor, but party chief will get a lot of people interested.
Caught on.
Sounds important.
We're just approving the 144.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion.
This isn't coming out of the general.
This is just a 144.
He's giving a person a new title.
Did that answer your question, Jim?
Yes.
Any other questions? Let's get a roll call on this 144.
Councilmember Conover?
Yes.
Councilmember Good?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yep.
Councilmember Reaver?
Yes.
And Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank all of you party chiefs.
So do you have an assistant party chief?
We don't have, we're gonna be watching for rumors.
Does the party chief get the keg and the stormwater transfer?
So that's the party planner.
The party planner, okay.
I've read through.
Stormwater transfer, 20,000 from 3120 consultants to postage, to pay postage for stormwater. There's a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion. Here's the thing, Bob Thompson couldn't be here tonight,
But
is he?
he actually could make.
All right, come on up. Because my comment was gonna be, if there was no issue, we would go forward, but if anybody had any questions, it was getting tabled.
I think it was good.
She's here.
Yeah.
What?
I
You never like when I get a
The only
survey.
question I have is,
wanted her to come up and sit down for a
Jessica, was this mailed out to all Porter County residents or just the ones paying the fee?
Unincorporated.
Just, I thought the commissioners took care of all postage.
We,
Is this something new that,
Scott, why don't you explain that?
The commissioners right now, because there was no line item in the stormwater budget, did pay for this postage. But that postage was, in the commissioner's budget, was budgeted for our normal things.
So we're reimbursing
This is going to go to reimburse stormwater, for stormwater brochure, is reimbursing the commissioner's line item for postage. And the first step is to get it from consultants to the actual postage in the stormwater budget.
Any other questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Expo Center. Convention Center operating additional $20,300 to advertising. Increase advertising line item in budget to reflect additional contribs received from Dunes Tourism.
move.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion is second. You're welcome. Any discussion on this?
I did wisely.
Yeah, Lori, what are some of the ideas you have relative?
Good question, Mike.
We're in production with the new website, so that's the biggest one. We're looking to get a POS system, that's really neat. Quarterly newsletter that'll get mailed out, that's never been done with an event calendar, so that'll reach a lot more people. But the website's probably the biggest one right now.
Good. All right. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Biggs?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yep.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitney?
Yes.
Councilmember Thomas?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Let's have second reading.
Whereas it has been determined that it may not be appropriate more money.
We'll do our attorney.
Jeremy.
Attorney report.
Porter County Council. The following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the fund for purposes specified, subject to the laws of the same. General fund, $7,750.57. Major moves, $317,197. Expo Center advertising, $20,300. Hospital insurance, $441,500. Memorial Opera House, $19,000. Park at Keaton's Run, $1,195. Parks on Signature Gardens, $1,185. $2,800. And that includes the second reading.
Fantastic. What's your pleasure?
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yep.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Line play.
Yes, I think.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, before we get to the attorney's report, a couple of housekeeping things. First, as you are probably all well aware, we've got this issue with the proposed train coming through, ripping through the south part of Porter County, from Illinois, ending in LaPorte County intermodal. Myself and Councilman Biggs got together and put together this resolution that's been presented to you for your review. And quite frankly, in attending some of these meetings, as Councilwoman Graham, myself, Councilman Jessen, and Councilman Biggs have been attending, there really is a glaring lack of any benefit to the county, and it's certainly a potential disastrous cost to the county and some of its residents. So I've presented you all with that resolution that we put together. If you'd like, I can read it. It's short, sweet, right to the point. I'll take that as a yes. Go ahead and read it. Whereas the Porter County Council is the fiscal body of the government in Porter County, Indiana, and whereas on March 21st, 16, the county planning director received from the Surface Transportation Board the notice of intent to prepare an environmental impact statement, and whereas this notice was first and only communication received by any Porter County department from either the Surface Transportation Board or Great Lake Basin Transportation, Inc., and whereas Great Lakes Basin Transportation, Inc. plans to file a request with the Surface Transportation Board to construct and operate an approximately 278-mile rail line, and whereas the proposed rail line would consist of up to 6 tracks running the entire width of Porter County east to west, and whereas the residents of Porter County have until June 15, 2016 to provide the Surface Transportation Board comments on the scope of the environmental impact study, and whereas the Porter County Council is greatly concerned about the significant negative impact on property values and therefore assessed valuations across South Porter County, and whereas the Porter County Council is greatly concerned with the impact and associated costs of the disruption and drainage across the South Porter County, and whereas the Porter County Council is greatly concerned with the impact of at-grade crossings and/or road closures on response times for law enforcement and various emergency service providers, therefore be resolved by the undersigned that the Porter County Council foresee no short-term or long-term positive economic impact from this new proposed rail line in Porter County, and foresee significant permanent negative impacts to property values, drainage, and emergency service providers, and therefore are against the Great Lakes Basin's proposed 278-mile rail line. Resolution passed and adopted this blank day of blank 2016. What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just guess I wanted to add that in the beginning, I thought, what is all, the problem about this? It sounds kind of exciting, but I've done some due diligence too, and even if it's not directly affecting somebody's property, people's concerns, and justifiably so, is public safety response time, whether that be an ambulance, a police officer, a fire truck, and besides the other issues that you mentioned in your ordinance.
Thank you very much, Karen. And yeah, and lots and lots of things have come up at these meetings and concerns that folks have, and we're not just talking about the diminution of property values, but certainly property use. A lot of those are farms down there, and this rail line is projected to cut those farms in half and certainly have disastrous impacts on the farmers' ability to continue to make their livelihood on their land. And then schools, and of course emergency services, and there have been varying estimates of trains up to 100-plus a day whipping back and forth along the line.
I would like to mention that this track is proposed is going to be a quarter of a mile away from Morgan Township School.
There is the schools.
And I think there's many studies out there that shows that the noise factor would be a great harm to the kids' learning. I'm very much opposed to this.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. Jim?
The single largest issue that I have with it, outside of the public safety issue, is, the right of private investors using eminent domain to their financial benefit.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah. At the cost of the private homeowner.
Yep.
So, okay, with all that having been said, let's get a roll call on this, please.
Councilmember Jessen.
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad.
Yep.
Councilmember Reavis.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Councilmember Conover.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitch.
Heck, yeah.
Councilmember Graham.
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you very much, and we'll get that out to the pertinent parties, correct, Scott?
Correct.
All right. One other thing, I know that, speaking of drainage, we have the Drainage Advisory Board. Our appointment is Jeremy Reavis. I thought perhaps, Jeremy, if you had anything, I know it's new, and you guys have only had one meeting, I think, but anything that you wanted to bring us up to speed on?
We just met once, just trying to organize everything. The commissioners are trying to get everything moving forward. We're meeting May 9th, we'll get going, but we are meeting, myself, representing the city of Portage, is meeting with a person from the city of Portage, with Bob Thompson, to discuss the Willow Creek Road. I mean, it's a pretty big issue in the city of Portage and the county that's joint, so I mean, it's something that's going on. We're going to meet Thursday and discuss, but other than that, everything is still new and moving forward.
Thank you very much. And along those lines, now that you mentioned the P word, Portage, as we all are aware, we've had some degree of at least apparent acrimony with the city administration of Portage here recently in the past. So I did reach out to a couple of city council members in Portage for a meeting to see exactly what the issues were and what their concerns were. I set up a meeting with two other council members, Councilman Marco Prisco, who's the president of the city council, and then Councilman Pat Clem. Jeremy, Councilman Reavis from our board joined me, since that is in fact his district. I think we had a pretty productive meeting in discussing things with them, and most importantly, I wanted to open the line of communications with their city council, because I just wanted to have a handle on what their concerns were. I did advise them and bring them up to speed on the fact that the county is doing an assessment on all of its structures and buildings. I know that their immediate requests had to do with the construction of a new courthouse up in Portage, or at least that's what I read in the paper from the town hall meeting that occurred impromptu. They appreciated that, and I did advise them that as we move through the assessing of our buildings, particularly with the North County complex, that we would keep them informed, so that we could work with the city with any particular upgrades that we may do to the building. and/or if in fact there came a time that we needed to reconstruct, we would certainly open lines of communication with them. So I guess I would like to create a small committee, Jeremy Rivas, if you would be so happy to do that, to continue to meet with the city council members in Portage as things kind of move along, and maybe even at some point, if there comes a time that the assessment, the needs assessment and the structural assessment of the North County complex gets nearer to conclusion, perhaps you might want to reach out to the judges that operate out of that building to see what use issues there may be existing. Would you mind doing that?
No, I wouldn't mind at all.
So,
In that vein, Jeremy, I would contact Matt, our new building superintendent, because I know that he has recently surveyed that building, so I think he'd have a lot of useful information for you.
yeah, and I actually went and met with Matt briefly to kind of advise him what we were doing and asked him to kind of keep us in the loop. So Jeremy, that's a great idea. Anybody else want to serve on that committee with Jeremy?
I wish him luck, though.
All right, I'll serve with him. And Sylvia loves to be on committees.
Yes, I would like to.
So we'll kind of, as we kind of work through...
Was it me?
Nobody wanted to serve with you, man. And I'll let the city council representatives know over there that, that we've done this, and communication's important, and that helps to alleviate some of the acrimony before it gets to festering, so... all right, our next thing on our agenda,
Before we go, there was a couple of requests for that additional from the tourism, that we moved that extra money, I think it was like $19,000.
Yes.
You mentioned a newsletter, and an idea popped in my head. We've got the parks, the expo center, the animal shelter, the new drainage stuff. And living in the city of Portage, I think quarterly I get a newsletter from the city of Portage that all the happenings. We've got all this money. Why has the county ever thought about putting a newsletter out to all the residents with all the happenings that would help all the different organizations? I mean,
you're talking about like a joint newsletter?
From the county, from county government, that shows all the happenings, what's going on, whether it's tax time coming up, bills, whether it's, animal shelter stuff, just...
I thought that was the purpose of the large investment into the new website 2 years ago.
Well, not everybody has a computer and goes to the website. I mean,
I agree, but it's...
Would that be...
Most municipalities do print... Well, yeah, it's probably the commissioners that would have to do that. I mean, just an idea.
It's a good idea, but...
A shared cost.
We have to ask ourselves, can we afford to do that as well?
Well,
it's a good idea, we all know that.
$19,000 there, $19,000, I mean...
It's a good idea. I like where you're going with this. Anything else?
I'm done, thank you. Thank you for the floor.
And then, Michael...
Who was that, Scott? No wonder,
Scott's getting a gift?
No.
Nobody talked about it?
Okay, let's jump back up on the agenda to our selection of council attorney. As you know, we had a number of applicants that applied to the county council to be the county council attorney, and that we kind of brought all those in. I created a subcommittee of myself, Councilwoman Calver, and Councilman Rivas to go through those, to sort of call out a few to bring in front of the board. Certainly, there were varying elements that went into that paring down. I think a big one was we really wanted a local attorney, somebody with a law practice in the county. That was kind of an important threshold. Correct me or add in if I missed something, guys, but experience was important. Years in law were important. We certainly looked for anybody that had a conflict, that had a perceived conflict with the county, anybody that represented any entity that we thought might create a conflict in representing us. Those kind of went to the wayside, and we ended up with 3 applicants, which we interviewed earlier tonight. Having said that, I would like to open the floor to any motions, nominations, anything that...
I'll make the motion for, first of all, I gotta compliment the committee. The final 3 were really qualified, but I think I'm gonna nominate Harold Harper to be our new attorney.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other,
I just wanted to add that I appreciate everybody who applied to us. We're 7 bosses, not always an easy thing to manage, and for the 3 people who bothered to come in and interview with us, and it was a tough decision.
It was close, yeah, all 3 that came and interviewed.
Outstanding.
They interviewed very well, and it was just a fine line of one thing or another that tipped the scale for me, so, all 3 of them would have been great, actually. Any other,
Just one thing, real quick, is that I know that we have, over the last, few weeks, kidded Scott about leaving, but he is going to be difficult to replace. His knowledge of the operations of county government and the statutes that really is, its foundation that we operate by, it's not going to be easy to replace, but, thank you.
The good thing is, he's not going very far.
But in about 8 minutes, he's gonna become one of them.
he followed the money. No, I mean, Jim's right. Jim's absolutely right. I gotta tell you, guys, through my time as county council president, Scott and I talk numerous times daily on issues that come up that, that probably don't need to find their way to the whole body. He's writing stuff down, putting out fires, and quite frankly, he is going to be very difficult to replace.
He's very accessible, yes, very good. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you for all your service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's no gift. I'm just wondering where I could work that in.
Best shot.
I did try, though, I did nail the notes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I will send a letter to all the firms that applied, and particularly the ones that we interviewed, but the other ones as well,
I got one thing when you're done.
to let them know, and then I'll contact Harold Harper. Yes, Bob?
Based on the, I'm gonna throw this out for discussion so we don't lose sight, but based on the email from the auditor about the money the state's so generously giving back to us, which was ours to start with, we'll not go down that road, that 25%, roughly $400,000, I think we might as well allocate that for the rest of the sheriff's pension, because we're gonna have to do that anyway later in the year, so I'm just throwing that out for discussion, move it to the general fund, we do an additional, finish that pension issue off for the year.
This is the distribution that we got, that's our
I'm just throwing that out for discussion.
What is that, the 414?
41.
$443,795 is 25% portion that
Right.
that's unrestricted.
That we pay for it, that's 20.
I guess what Bob is suggesting is that we allocate that for the
The rest of the second half of the pension. Because we're gonna pay it anyway,
It
with
wasn't
the
money
money
we budgeted against,
It's a good idea.
and that's a great
Do
idea.
we need to do anything bigger? Can you just move that to the general fund, advertise for an additional for next meeting, and just be done with it?
If that's what you want.
No, I'm just making a question.
You can do it if that's what you want.
Scott, concerns with that, or thoughts?
We gotta put it somewhere, not the general fund. She
But
said,
then a month, by June 1st.
and just get it off the table.
Somewhere.
This could be your last bit of advice.
Don't screw it up, Scott, come on. I just got all those kind words to say, and I get the deer in the
No, he's
head.
looking. Then I confuse you.
Well, I mean, we gotta do, there's a couple of steps before we get there, is what I'm trying to articulate.
With the 75%, it must go in a new fund that we've already created.
Right.
And we'll be dispersing that tomorrow.
That goes to roads.
And you'll still have to decide how to spend that.
Right.
Nothing's gonna be spent.
But we're talking about the
It's not just roads.
Right.
Well,
That's what I remember addressing the
Talk about the 25%.
Now you're addressing the 25%, you can either put it into the general fund, a special new fund that you create for whatever purpose, under home rule authority, or other rainy day fund. Or if you choose to use it all for infrastructure, you put it in with the 75%.
So if we follow the logic that Bob's thrown out there and wanted to end up paying the second portion of the sheriff's pension just through the general fund, or we don't have to do a special line item, do we?
Well, we would dump it in the general fund and then do an additional.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that for the next meeting.
I'm just throwing that out for discussion.
Yeah,
We're gonna
sounds
pay it
good.
anyway.
Anything else, Scott, that you want to tell us?
No.
You want to thank us for the years of service that we've allowed you to give us?
I appreciate the years of service.
I'm sure you do.
I do.
I really look forward to you sitting over there on that side.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you on a certain level. We have,
Maybe we can't ask, we can still ask
You
questions.
can always ask me.
Thank you.
he won't answer them. You can always ask.
You'll be biased from his answer.
Any other matter of order?
We haven't even got the meeting done, and I'm biased.
We're looking at you.
It didn't take long, Jerry.
Begins. Any other matter that may properly come before the council? Anybody have anything? With that, let's stand adjourned.